So before they had to leave, they lived in like a small house because her father had died. And then afterwards, when they were living in LA, my great uncle set up a jewelry shop and were able to bring more money into the family and try to get their mom, who was still in Vienna, to where they were. So the only people that were able to leave with her was it was 2 or 3 brothers and herself. And her mom had to stay because her mom was still didn't want to make it look like the whole family had left. So they went to the Switzerland border, where they actually got caught and got brought into the Switzerland border place, and she basically begged for her to let her and her brothers go. And afterwards, that's when she met her friend, but like it was much harder for her, and like she had to, because she was always worried about her mom, and when she would hear things on the news like, oh, Hitler had bombed a certain place, then she'd get worried, like, was my mom near there? Like, is she in a concentration camp? Where is she? So this story is really important to my family because it's part of our Jewish identity, and it's an interesting part of our life because we have to you have to always like be aware of our struggles. And the story is passed down. So my grandmother told my grandfather the story, and then my grandfather told my mom, and then my mom told me and my sisters when we were really young. And now I tell people the story. Like, I've written essays on the story, and I've done other things to get this story out there. And when I have kids, I'm going to tell them this story, and I'm going to make sure they tell their kids this story too. So when she was on the Switzerland border place, the guy just put her in a chair, and she got on her knees and basically said, "Let me and my brothers go. Let me and my brothers go. If you're not gonna let me go, let my brothers go. Like, don't send us back. Please don't send us back." And the guy threw her out of the door to the area of Switzerland, and she started crying because she thought, I've lost my brothers. I'm never going to see them again. They're going to die. But her friend was there too on the other side, and she went over to her friend, and her friend comforted her, and she looked behind her, and her brothers had been let go. And she realized, like, I did something really big. I saved my brothers and our own lives. So the reason why her father wasn't included is because he died right before the Holocaust started. He was in World War I, and he was one of the Austrian soldiers who were on horseback and not in the trenches, and he ended up got shot in the stomach and lived, but had stomach problems for the rest of his life. Her father died when she was a little girl, and her mom sold meat, because he was a butcher, to the other butchers, and whatever meat they didn't sell, they would eat for dinner, and that was basically how they survived. So my family has been through like a really big struggle through our whole lives, and this is one of the biggest ones we had to overcome, and this is the most recent history that we can account for.